Hey guys, Tonight Marine here with a Semper Sundays today, talking about a fucking badass Marine. I mean, there is no way around it. This guy saw some shit before his time was up. His name is Stanley Christianson. He fought in 2 wars. He was a PFC. He ended up fighting. He went to boot camp in San Diego, and he ended up fighting with the 2nd Marine Division, and he went overseas with the 2nd Marine Division. He fought on Tarawa, Saipan, Tinian, and Okinawa, and then he was with the occupation forces in mainland Japan before we ended up leaving there. In December of 1945, he was discharged, and then 3 months later, he decided to re-enlist with the regular Marine Corps. He did quite a bit in that time. He served at the Naval Air Station in Pensacola, Florida. He served as a drill instructor at Parris Island in South Carolina. He was at the Naval Ammunition Depot in Hastings, Nebraska. He was at the Brooklyn Navy Yard in Brooklyn, New York. And he was also at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. And then he ended up getting moved to the 1st Marine Division out of Pendleton to go fight in Korea in 1950. He participated in the landing at Incheon in South Korea, and he ended up earning the Bronze Star for his actions there. And I'm not quite sure what he did. It says, the citation said, Private First Class Christianson, acting as an automatic rifleman during an assault, fearlessly and courageously exposed himself to find the exact location of the enemy. So basically, he put himself out there to draw fire on himself so that the enemy would give up their position. So they would fire, the Marines could see their muzzle flashes, and then they could take them out. And that action earned him the Bronze Star. But then, 11 days later, he ended up being killed while fighting. And here's the citation. For conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity I looked that up actually, that's how you say it, at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty while serving with Company E, 2nd Battalion, 1st Marine Division, in action against enemy aggressor forces at Hill 132, Seoul, Korea, in the early morning hours of September 29th, 1950. Manning one of the several listening posts covering approaches to the platoon area when the enemy commenced the attack, Private First Class Christianson quickly sent another Marine to alert the rest of the platoon. Without orders, he remained in his position and with full knowledge that he would have a slight chance of escape, fired relentlessly at oncoming hostile troops, attacking fiercely with rifles, automatic weapons, and incendiary grenades. Accounting for 7 enemy dead in the immediate vicinity before his position was overrun, and he himself fatally struck down, Private First Class Christianson, by his superb courage, valiant fighting spirit, and devotion to duty, was responsible for allowing the rest of the platoon time to man positions, build up a stronger defense on that flank, and repel the attack with 41 of the enemy destroyed, many more wounded and 3 taken prisoner. His self-sacrificing actions in the face of overwhelming odds sustained and enhanced the finest traditions of the United States Naval Service. Private First Class Christianson gallantly gave his life for his country. Now, what a listening post is, if you don't know, is generally this post is put out way ahead of where your guys are manning the actual defense of your area. These guys are out on their own. It's usually a 2-man team, and he sent the other Marine back to let them know, because they probably didn't have radios. Probably couldn't contact them that way, and so he sent this guy back once they knew the Koreans were coming, North Koreans, or possibly the Chinese if that's who they fought. But he knew they were coming, so he told this dude, "Hey, get back. Let them know that they're coming." And generally, listening posts aren't supposed to fight; they're supposed to leave. But I imagine, based on the situation, he didn't think that both of them would be able to get back in time to prevent the enemy from reaching that point, to reaching the defenses that he knew were weak, that he knew Marines were probably sleeping. If it's in the early morning hours, it's probably 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and a lot of guys are probably not awake. And so instead of going back himself and possibly risking the enemy being able to push through that point, he opened fire on them. And he lit them up, and it said by himself he killed 7 of them before he was killed. And that time that he held them off and that he slowed them down allowed the other Marines to get ready to fight. And in doing so, the Marines were able to kill 41 of the enemy, wound a shit ton more, and take 3 prisoner. And that's just absolutely amazing. And because of him, those Marines are alive. I mean, plain and simple, he gave them that time. So, yeah. All right, guys. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, hit me up, and I will see you in the next one. Semper Fi.